So, what if you could take everything you know, all that hard-won expertise and experience, and turn it into a real, tangible asset, something that immediately establishes you as an authority in your field? And what if you could do all of that in just 1 month? Well, that's exactly what we're talking about today with the 30-Day Authority Book. Let's break down how it works. I mean, does this sound familiar? You're a coach, you're a consultant, you have incredible value to offer, but you feel like you're just shouting into the wind, trying so hard to stand out in a marketplace that is just completely packed with noise. And this is what we call the expert's dilemma. Your knowledge is, hands down, your biggest asset. But for so many of us, it just stays locked away in our heads. It's not actually converting into the high-value clients and opportunities that you know you deserve. When you really boil it down, it all comes back to trust. With every single new prospect, you have to start from square one, right? Building credibility, proving your worth, before you can even get to the good stuff. It is an absolutely exhausting uphill battle. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. So many experts are just trapped in this frustrating loop, constantly explaining their process, their value, why they're different. It's so repetitive, and frankly, it keeps you from operating at your best. So this brings us to a really crucial realization. The problem isn't your skill. Let me say that again. It is not a lack of expertise. The real issue here is the packaging. It's a positioning problem, and it creates this authority gap between you and your ideal clients. You know, when you look at how most experts work versus how the top 1% operate, it's like night and day. Most people are out there chasing leads, grinding out content every single day. But the top performers? Nope. They're playing a totally different game. They build systems that attract clients to them, that create instant trust, and that position them as the only choice. They aren't just working harder, they are working so much smarter. And this just cuts right to the chase. Those big opportunities, we're talking speaking gigs, podcast features, clients who don't even blink at your prices, they don't always go to the most skilled person. They go to the person with the best positioning. The takeaway here is that your income is almost always tied directly to your perceived authority. So, how do you fix this positioning problem? Well, the solution is as elegant as it is powerful. A book. A physical representation of your expertise, published and in your hands in just 30 days. And that timeline, that's what's so incredible. 30 days. We're not talking about some long, drawn-out process that takes over your life. This is a sprint. It's designed to rapidly transform how the market sees you. I want you to really picture this for a second. You meet a high-value prospect. Instead of handing them a flimsy business card that's going to get lost, you hand them your book. That single move changes the entire dynamic. You're not just another consultant, you're the expert who literally wrote the book on it. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I'm not a writer. I can't write a book. And that's the beauty of this. It's a completely done-for-you process. Your only job is to talk about what you already know. You talk, we handle all the rest. The whole thing breaks down into 3 really simple steps. First, we use a structured process to pull all that genius out of your head. Second, our team of professional writers organizes it and crafts it into a polished, amazing book. And third, we manage the entire publishing process for you. Simple. So let's just bust some of the biggest myths about writing a book right now. You do not have to be a gifted writer. You do not need to clear your calendar for months on end. And you absolutely do not need to be famous or have a huge following. Authority comes from clarity, not from celebrity. Okay, so let's get to the good stuff. What actually happens when you have this book in your hands? What are the real business outcomes? Because this isn't a vanity project. This is a strategic business asset designed to get you a serious return. The first and most immediate result? Boom, instant credibility. A book does all that heavy lifting for you, establishing trust and authority before you even get on a sales call. It answers the question, why should I listen to you, before they even have to ask. Second, the book works as the ultimate client filter. It attracts people who are already sold on your way of thinking because they've read it. They show up to the conversation ready to implement, not to be convinced. And you know what that does? It makes the whole sales process incredibly efficient. Because that trust is already there, you get to skip all the friction and delay. You get right to solving problems for people who are excited to work with you. And here it is, the bottom line. Published experts can charge more. period. A book elevates you from being a commodity, just another service provider, and puts you into that premium tier of published authorities. You finally get paid what you're actually worth. So the key is to think of your book not as a one-time project, but as a long-term asset. It becomes a cornerstone of your brand that just keeps paying dividends, opening doors to speaking gigs, podcast interviews, and new partnerships for years to come. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. Just 1 month from today, you could be holding your own published book. So what new conversations would that start? What kind of higher-level clients would that attract? And what new opportunities, the ones that feel just out of reach right now, could it finally unlock for you?